What's going on, guys? So tonight I want to do something a little bit different. While I'm playing just a random game, I want to discuss some speculation. Just kind of been around Discord and people have been talking. So this is purely speculation. There's nothing specific I heard or anything from Avid or anything really definite, but I want to discuss potential game mode options that we could see on the horizon. So this is just stuff hearing through the grapevine, people talking, people chattering. So most of us think that, after discussions, that we probably are going to see some type of game modes here in the future coming out probably pretty soon if I had to guess. So I wanted to kind of discuss some of the things there with that, maybe some different ideas that I think or speculations that I think would be, kind of a neat inclusion into the different game modes that they could make or some stuff I've heard, other people discuss of types of things they would like to see. So that's kind of what I want to do right now. So I'm just playing in the background just as I'm talking here. Nothing too crazy, not taking this very seriously. So but let's go ahead and get started. So my first game mode that I really wanted to discuss is kind of most games we've seen. If you guys play Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering or any of those other types of card games, I would imagine you'll see some type of draft mode be released. So I would imagine we'll have some type of entry fee, so maybe like 50 to 100 gems, and then based on the number of wins you get, there'll be some type of prize, as you're stepping up, the more wins you get, the better prizes you get based on that. So I would expect some type of game mode like that in the near future. Again, I don't know for sure. This is just pure speculation, but that's what I would expect to see. I think that is a very realistic game type mode. So what I would probably do if I were Avid is I would do kind of like what Hearthstone did, where they pop out three types of cards. So maybe Avid does 3 to 5 cards appear, and you're basically drafting with yourself. So a randomized set of cards come out, and you pick a card, and then obviously go to the next card. So what I would think though, because this game has so many cards and it's so randomized, it would need to steer you in some type of direction, right? So that your deck actually can function properly. So what I would probably do in that situation is maybe have like the first 6 cards, very generic cards that get drafted. So think of like Iron Maiden or Jet Car, cards that can be slotted in any type of deck, right? And then after the first 6, maybe you pick an archetype or subcategory of maybe you pick Drain as a thing, or maybe you pick, like I said, subcategories. Like I might pick Futurology and Bugs. Now going forward, after those first 6 cards, I have a better chance of drafting, or like the probability would be in my favor that at least one Bug or one Futurology card pops up in the draft. Maybe not every time, but the chances would be greater that I would now draft such cards. So I think that would be a neat way to do it. That way you're not just drafting completely random decks, but some of it can be somewhat linked together, and there's combos that will arise in your draft decks. I think that would make it really fun, really engaging, and it'd be unique, right? We wouldn't be seeing the same boring decks every day that we're playing against. It would be randomized, so you'd have to kind of make do with what you get. So I think that would be a lot of fun and neat to work with, neat to play and battle against. So I would think maybe do like 2 eliminations. So lose 2, you're out, and then you'd basically have to repay and try again. But I would keep the entry fee low personally, just for new players. I don't know how they would do it, but that's what I would think. Just keep the entry fee nice and low and make it so everybody can have fun. Maybe, like I said, 50 to 100 gems I think would be reasonable. So that's the first game mode I wanted to talk about, basically a draft mode. The other game mode I'm thinking, or another game mode I'm thinking, would be, let's change up casual a little bit. I know casual's been around for a while. It's kind of a new player type, get your feet wet. There's not a lot of energy going on in casual. But that's one thing I think that hurts it, because casual, to me lately, has been, just filled with the drain decks, right? And because the energy's so low, the taxing and the drain decks really just run rampant in that game mode. So what I would suggest is a very simple tweak. Let's just up the energy regen a little bit in casual to make it to where maybe drain won't be as prevalent, but still viable. So what I would do is change it from the 7 regen to 9. I think that would make casual a little more palatable for most people, and potentially, especially for newer players, they can get into those archetypes that require more energy a little more and try them out and see what they think, rather than if they don't feel like playing in leagues yet. But that would be one thing I would do, is definitely update casual and just make it a little more energy. I think 7's a little too low. Really limits your card pool there. All right, next up, I want to talk about another game mode. This is one I kind of thought of. Is I'm thinking of games in the past that kind of like League of Legends, where you could ban specific characters or cards. So, but obviously you wouldn't want to sit there before a game and say, I want to ban this card, this card, this card, and this card. That would just be kind of frustrating to try to set up like that. So what I would suggest is Avid has a game mode that comes out, kind of like a rotation, kind of like Leagues does. But what it does is every week you'd see different cards randomly banned. So maybe you pick like limited legendary cards, for instance, maybe like 50 cards randomly get banned out of that category. 50 limited epic cards get banned. 50, limited rare. It just makes the game completely different to where now, that combo I usually do is not available. Let's see if we can figure out something else. It forces you to be more creative with your deck building is what I like. I think that would be really fun, not seeing the same old, everybody just auto-including the same card every week because it's the best card in the game, right? Well, here, look, this week that card is not an option, so now what? So I think that would be a cool way to go about it. So we obviously wouldn't have any control over what the bans are, but each week they are different. I think that would be really cool, something to check out. And my last idea for a game mode, when I think of this one, I think of Magic the Gathering. Sorry to keep referencing Magic and Hearthstone, but it's the closest we have, right? So I think of, if most of you have heard of Pauper in Magic, where it's like, it would be a game mode that only has common cards or very easy to get a hold of cards, and that's all you can use. You can't use any of the best cards in the game. So what I would do is make a mode that basically doesn't include limited cards or mythic cards. So any limited cards basically can't pick. So you have other options though, right? You have excuse me. There's still a lot of good cards. I mean, legendary cards in general that are not limited, that are really viable. I mean, you think of Martin Luther King and think of what's some other good ones off the top? I'm blanking now, but there's definitely some good regular legendary card. Dragon King. I mean, cards that you can really build really viable decks around, but aren't always chosen because everybody wants to play the limited legendary cards. It's what everybody looks for. It's what everybody plays, They just, what's the best card in the deck? What's the best mythic card? And let's just jam them all in one deck, right? So I want to get away from the game modes that do that, because it just really narrows down the decks that people play, I feel like. And that's where the game, to me, gets more stale, is when that happens. So I think, personally, we kind of make some more game modes built around the other cards that aren't being seen every day, But that's pretty much it for me as far as game modes go. So let's just go ahead and finish the rest of this game. My son's walking in on me as I'm filming. I got to kick him out here. He's going to probably scream at me now. The joys of being a parent and trying to film. Ugh, drives me crazy. But, so how we look in this game? I haven't even really been paying attention at all. Are we winning? It's 2-2. This is the last round, so maybe we have a chance here. Well, he put a good turn down. kick my son out again. My goodness. All right, what do we got here? Last turn of the game. Well, we might lose this. He's got the lead on us. Ragnarok just hit though, so that's pretty good. That might limit what he can play here. If he can only play 2 cards, maybe we get it. Nope, he did get us. Close game though. That was my Cyborg Taxing deck. It's a really fun deck. All right, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about this video. Nothing crazy. I just wanted to, again, kind of go over different game modes, speculations. And again, I have no idea what is coming with this, but hopefully we do see something, soon. I would like something to make this game feel a little more refreshing. I think that would keep people from, because I've been seeing a lot of people just say they're taking a break from the game and they're just kind of burnt out and bored with it. So just something to liven it up and make it refreshing, and like, oh man, now I want to go back and play because this new game mode, it just brings people back to the game, and keeps things fun and fresh. So I'm really hoping they can do something soon just to, bring the game back to life. So, but all right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and if you guys agree with any of those choices, or if you have your own ideas, let me know. I'd love to hear them. So. Again, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoy the content. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.